All right, yeah. Hey, thanks for asking. Great question. A lot of discussion about do you go direct? Do you spend some time in and around the moon and set up a gateway, a transport, and go out there beyond that? And so some of it, there's a lot of different pieces to that journey, right? Part I work on Orion is a piece of it. It's not all inclusive. So our marching orders are, hey, let's shoot for something in the 30s. I can, if with the right funding, that might happen. It also might be 30s, 40s time frame, 2030, 2040. By the time you really start putting humans, on the surface for an extended period of time. It's one of the things I like about talking to students, right? If I got somebody that's middle school, high school time frame, even grade school here in the States, listening to me, thinking about it, looking at, boy, that's an interesting thing, right? That is in a time frame that they could be part of that journey, whether it be as an engineer or one of the people making the journey, perhaps, right? It's a big, risky adventure, but it's not unrealistic in the time frame of somebody that's in school today to think about that, right? A lot of things have to happen to make that journey to Mars. It looks so cool and it looks so easy in the movies and on TV sometimes, right? But physics make it pretty challenging. But that's still, so we've set ourselves a target, and that's what we're kind of working towards. The duration of the mission really is a demanding part of why you need to think differently, think critically, think long term and big picture. I don't have a chart handy, right? If you're on the space station today, right? If you have a problem on space station today and you needed to get home, you can get back to the surface of Earth in the matter of a few hours if you need to. If you're in the vicinity of the moon, it's a few days. If you're on the way to or from Mars, or you're on Mars, you're there. It's like you're exploring you are exploring a new world. If you look at Mars, you're far enough away that there's no corner gas station to run out. And if you're cooking dinner and you forgot milk, well, you forgot milk, right? You can't really allow yourself to make those easy mistakes, right? Or if when the mistake or the problem comes along, you got to be able to be very standalone, sort of take care of take care of yourself, and to be, I'll say, self-sufficient to a great extent. And then start thinking, you solve the first problem, and you start thinking about where does that lead me down the path on the second problem, and look further ahead. Since your consequences of getting your decisions wrong, right, or I'll say more severe or less forgiving, right? If you make a mistake out there, it's less forgiving than it is today, here around home, right? You screw up something at your house, well, that's not good, right? That's unfortunate, but it's probably most things you do here on Earth, when you make a mistake, it's pretty recoverable, right? That was I thought one of the better aspects of the movie, The Martian, was it demonstrated pretty nicely how you had to, think through it for yourself, not just know one thing, right? And his character was, he was a botanist, but he was capable of doing many, many other things, right? And so he was across the board, kind of knew how to take care of himself and to give himself the best opportunity. So it's an interesting thought process. You sit back and you look at, you don't sit there. It's easy, right? One of the ways you get through school sometimes is you know what's going to be on the test, and you memorize those answers, right? And you know how to fill in the blanks. It's a good way to get an A on a test. When you don't know what the questions are going to be, when you're out exploring and you're doing something that you've never done before, right? You better be able to think independently for yourself as opposed to just recite something that you read and not be able to think creatively and critically. So it's funny. I think first thing for me when I got to Mars, and I'm glad you asked that. It got me thinking about it. I think I would, because I found I have done this every time I've gone to a new city or a new country, a new place, is I get off the plane or the whatever, get off my spaceship in this case, right? And I think I would just stand there and take it in. I found I first time I arrive someplace, I want to just kind of absorb what I'm seeing. I got a hunch it's beautiful. You've seen it on pictures, right? Or you've seen it on a map, or you've seen it on somebody's web chat. It's like, all right, is it what I thought it was? And so I would probably, if they'd let me, just stand there and absorb, right? As opposed to getting busy. I probably should be getting busy, but I'd want to just enjoy.